What can you accomplish in 23 minutes? You can watch a sitcom, you can browse some social network or prepare a lunch, or you can build a complete integration between Thunderbird, Trello, using Warp, and organize your email in tasks. And in this demo you will see like I did this in 23 minutes. Let me just start doing a small comparison about how much time I would take as a Python developer to build a Trello extension for Thunderbird. So as you can see here, there are some time. I would say for the first part of my job I would need 15-21 hours if I want to understand exactly what was going on, and then for the second part, also writing tests, documentation and so on, I will need some other between 19 and 24 hours. So totally depending on your experience with JavaScript and how fast you are, you will spend 3-5 days. Now, what happened instead with Warp? I have the choice to learn all the things that you have seen in the previous slides, or doing this with an AI system, like can be Copilot, can be Warp in this case, or maybe I can write this in Python. If I have my doubts that I can do this Thunderbird extension in Python, nevertheless. But the point is JavaScript something I really want to spend all the time, or I want to get my result done? So, for me, the answer was easy. I want to have my Trello extension. I want to create tasks from Thunderbird to Trello. How to do that? No extension are available, so I will do it differently, or I give up, and I don't want to give up. The first prompt is here. Let's start with something easy, okay? And as something easy, you see, he already created the manifest JSON file and is created a structure, is creating now all the things, the background script and all the components that are required. He created the Trello integration, the token generation, everything was part of this prompt. I wrote something beside this, but this is the end of it. After 23 minutes, I get my first Trello task created from within Thunderbird. Now, for me, Python developer with almost no JavaScript or TypeScript experience, this was incredibly easy, amazing experience. And now the journey is not over because I want to refine it to add more feature, but the first thing was done. And now it's time to create a proper Thunderbird package, okay? Because the first trial I did just loading the manifest JSON directly in Thunderbird, and here Warp failed a couple of times, but after some guidance he created the package correctly, and that package is now also available to you directly from GitHub. A neat functionality that I love about Warp is are the rules. And the rules add additional context to your prompt, your agentic interaction. Here I already created some rules, and I will show you how the containerized environment rules play a role while doing testing or developing my Thunderbird extension. But you can add the rules that you like Git best practice or just normal best practice, or test or JavaScript developing, whatever you have in mind, you can add it as a rule, and Warp will take it as soon as the next prompt is given. Warp can be very powerful, but when you do go in fast forward mode without the human interaction, it can do whatever it wants on your file system. So this was a bit of a concern for me. Then I created this rule. These rules say do everything in a Docker container, just mount the working directory, and that's all. All the next prompt where it will catch that you need to do something, development or test, they will be run inside the Docker container, as you can see here on the bottom left. And that's incredible great, because you don't risk anymore to corrupt or delete something on your real file system. Second option that I love is the auto approve. So here the agent will work auto approving all the actions to get to the goal. The request is easy, just improve 25% of the current test coverage. And as you see again, it will run in a container environment. And here, after some run, it looks crazy, it looks super, but it's all fake, because in reality it didn't change anything, it didn't change a line of code. But you cannot say looking at the output. But let's do the direct ask request. So how much did you improve in percentage? And you see, it's 0%, 0%. And explain and excuse, but the point is that the previous output didn't show anything. So it was like, you must be very careful. So to what is coming out, it looks good, it looks great, but can be just a fake. You are in control. After some additional feature, I decided to create a proper GitLab release pipeline. And here I was so sad. Warp continually failed. It created pipeline that looks good, but in reality were wrong, didn't do what I wanted. And also Cloud failed. So at the end I had to do this manually. But this is okay. It's important to remember that you are, as a developer, always in control. Don't trust everything like it is good. So the AI system make mistakes, and we are there exactly to avoid that mistakes. What I didn't like in Warp, so the shortcut didn't work properly on Linux, and the editor is not there, so you need to rely on other editor to do your job. It can be Vim, no Vim, whatever, but it's not there included. Now let's recap the learning path with Warp assisted coding. So I describe what I want, I see the code working almost immediately, I can see the example to understand how it was done, I can modify if it doesn't work, this happens, I can see and learn JavaScript concept if I want, I create a test and fix them when I cannot, and then I have a working extension. And new skills, yeah, maybe not so many, but I can do what I wanted. I have a Trello extension working in Thunderbird. With Warp, I felt like having superpower. I was like my knowledge, my capabilities were multiplied. So, because I had faster feedback loop, different approach that I can test easily, quality of code, good quality of code if compared to a newbie, and at the end I was just less frustrated because I get my things done very quickly. Now this all looks good, great, but if you want to maintain your extension or whatever software you are doing, you need to learn the language. You cannot completely give this to an AI when something is not working. So please keep this in mind. AI can do great things, but it doesn't replace your knowledge, or it shouldn't replace your knowledge, or you will be damned sooner or later. Thank you for watching. Follow me on my YouTube channel or on my blog, or interact with me on Blue Sky on X, and give me your feedback. Happy to hear what you think about this video. Bye bye.